Let me tell you guys something. I love Mario. I grew up playing a bunch of Mario games and spin-offs, so if I saw anything with a plumber in it, I was guaranteed to be interested by it. And what really established that for me was the discovery of the Mario and the real world genre of videos on YouTube. Back when YouTube was in its infancy, there was this viral video going around called Mario Game Over by Poikpok Comedy, and when I first saw it, I wanted to see more people reenacting Mario doing shenanigans in the real world.
You want to go ride go-karts? Play tennis? What?
You always want to play games, Mario!
And during my search for more of these videos, I discovered what would become one of the most influential YouTube videos of my life. This is Stupid Mario Bros. A web show worth watching.
Come on, Luigi, come on, Mario, let's go for an adventure. Sun or rain or sleet or snow, it don't matter the weather, they're just two best friends. Two plumbers like superheroes, but a little dumber, always looking out for the others. They're the Stupid Mario Brothers.
Stupid Mario Bros. Was created by Rich Alvarez and Chris Muller, who play Mario and Luigi, and according to an AMA they posted, the show's origin is that the two had costumes of Mario and Luigi for Halloween in 2006, and since they dabbled in filmmaking at the time, Chris suggested making a video using the costumes. Rich rejected it initially, but came around a year later. The show was going to be called Super Teenage Mario Bros, but was quickly renamed to Stupid Mario Bros due to the stupid and random nature of the video. It quickly became viral, which led to the production of more episodes. And one of the things I love about Stupid Mario Bros, and especially with the first season, is how it has that amateur made-at-home feel. The framing and lighting can be awful, sometimes their dogs are in the background, and wind is blowing into the microphone. Even in some indoor scenes, you can hear talking or clanking silverware from another room. And there's something about seeing a Christmas tree in the background that just hits different. Some people might find it all cringy, and maybe it is, but for somebody who was there every week to see the newest episode, I find them really charming. And what made the journey of following Stupid Mario Bros. When it aired so fun is seeing the faults improve while still feeling made at home. Another thing that I really like about the show is that it's just a group of friends who are making the videos in their neighborhood. You have no idea how much I admire that Rich and his friends were able to make the show possible for as long as they did, considering how obstacles like jobs, school, and life can get in the way. And it's everyone's dedication to the show that is one of the reasons I make YouTube videos today. So what is Stupid Mario Bros? I think the best way to describe it is, what if Super Smash Bros. Was a TV show? You get a bunch of classic Nintendo characters interacting with each other like Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, Ash, Brock, Link, Ness, UPS guy, FedEx guy. Yeah, they personified postal services.
I don't get it. It's a FedEx joke. You'll get it tomorrow.
And then the show would usually air weekly on the channel Rich Alvarez, with the first episode of Season 1 premiering on December 29th, 2007.
Mario Brothers. It's time to get to the mail, Luigi. I hope we don't get the same old crap we get every day. Yeah, that would suck.
So the story of Season 1 is that Mario and Luigi are on vacation in the real world, and Bowser wants them back, so he hires Wario, played by Matt Provenzel, and Waluigi, played by Doug Orofino, to capture them. And that's really all there is to it. But there's a reason why this show is a cult classic for many, and one of the key reasons for that is the antics, the shenanigans that the Mario Bros get themselves into. The first 5 episodes follow the narrative that Wario needs to catch the Mario Bros, which ends in a fight between all 4 main characters, where Mario and Luigi come out victorious. And after that, the show takes the random, perhaps even stupid humor, and just rolls with it. Episode 6 introduces the first of many non-Mario characters, with Ash Ketchum, who is essentially the show's punching bag. He's played by Dane Kevin Cook, who eventually becomes the lead cinematographer for the show, and he wound up parting ways with Rich, which stirred up a ton of drama in the fan base. And I'm not going to get into it, since that's not what this video is about, but a few years ago I discovered that he now runs a pretty popular gaming channel called Uncle Dane.
What are you gonna do now?
I'm gonna crash my car.
Oh boy!
I love episode 6, but episode 7 is up there as one of the best in the series, and it starts one of the best running gags in the show. Johnny Mushroom and the Kingdoms. In this episode, the Mario and Wario Bros form a band, and the entire episode pokes fun at auditions and those commercials selling music CDs like Kids Bop and the Ultimate Love Song Collection. And if you go to the Rich Alvarez channel right now, he's got a few video game covers to songs like We Didn't Start the Fire and Let the Bodies Hit the Floor that are definitely worth checking out. In episode 8, Ash hires the Mario Bros to unclog his toilet in what is probably one of the show's weirdest episodes. Like, there's a music sequence where they go to a grocery store in costume, dancing with plungers. But real talk, who lifts the toilet seat when they use a plunger? Then the plumbing gig was so bad that Mario and Luigi look for a new job, which introduces another recurrent actor, Julian Petrozelli, who plays Printer Shop owner.
This is Big Mama, guys. She's been with us for a long time. She is 6 in 1. A color printer, color fax, color copier, color scanner,
Color photo capture.
As much as I love the printer shop owner, and Julian for that matter, he's a one-off character, and Julian doesn't show up again until Season 3. Except for that one blooper in Season 2. But now's a good time to mention that most of the cast of Super Mario Bros. Play multiple characters, which is another thing that adds charm to the show. It's fun seeing scenes where an actor needs to play 2 roles at the same time, especially in later seasons where there's more characters. Usually loopholes like splitting up characters are used to avoid these odd interactions, but all I'm saying is that it may be unethical, but not impossible, to clone humans. Meh. So once the Mario Bros. Give up looking for jobs, the show returns to its antics, having a Mario Kart themed episode, a Wario and Waluigi episode, and an introduction to Donkey Kong. I think this was the first episode I saw, and oddly enough, one of the reasons it stood out to me was because I distinctly remember seeing the same gorilla costume at my local rag stock, and I'd always pair those together in some weird mnemonic device. Alright, so the final 3 episodes of Season 1 are where the plot not only thickens, but prepares the show for Season 2. UPS has a big package to deliver to Mario, but Bowser hires FedEx to stop him. UPS wins, of course, because that's what Brown does for you. But what's in the box? Yeah, it's Peach. I didn't mention this, but according to a letter from Bowser, he captured her, and since Mario never showed up, she broke out on her own. But forget her, because we get a training montage followed by the Season 1 finale. Now, every season of Super Mario Bros. Ends in a big fight or even multiple fights, and this time it's Mario and Luigi versus Wario and Waluigi. And this is where beam swords are introduced. I was just a little boy who knew nothing about video editing when I first saw this, but the beam swords were one of the most fascinating things to see because it brought these made-at-home videos to the next level. Way back after Season 1 aired, Rich posted a video called The Making of Stupid Mario Bros. Where he essentially explains what masking is. It's a technique in After Effects where you add layers to a single video clip so effects can be added. I've used After Effects a few times in college, and I think the software can be the difference between a great video and an amazing video. It's just too bad Adobe's subscription fee is insane for independent editors like myself to access it. So how does the fight end? Well, even with the help of Ash, Donkey Kong, and UPS, Mario actually defies the odds and loses the fight. But luckily Peach comes in with an RKO out of nowhere and saves the day. And then we get a letter from Link.
Hey guys, it's Link. What's up? Guess what? I just farted!
Did you think that was the real ending? You're stupid. You must be one of those stupid people. Real ending.
Mario, Luigi, the real world is in great danger. I would come there myself, but for matters I cannot explain, I have been detained. I want to tell you more, but out of fear that this letter could end up in the wrong hands, all I can say is this. In the darkness lies the truth.
In the darkness lies the truth. Probably the most iconic line from Stupid Mario Bros. Someday I'll get a tramp stamp of that line, but what does it mean? The truth refers to an object, while the darkness refers to a person, and that person is the antagonist of Season 2, Nox Decius. It's hard to explain who Decius is right now, since his backstory gets much more developed in later seasons. But the main reason he's so important is because he has the power to take over the real world, so all the video game worlds have closed their portals to the real world to keep him out, and this is where it becomes apparent that Super Mario Bros. Is turning into a show with a narrative that adds stakes and makes you care for its characters. This is also the season that introduces Link, played by Kent Melville, Ness, played by Chris's brother Tim, and Brock, played by Austin Stevenson. They add more dynamics and opportunities for the show. Kinda. When these episodes aired, it was fun seeing Link doing Link shenanigans, though I never grew up with Zelda games, so I couldn't relate to his character too much. And Brock and Ness filled in unique roles, but don't add much to the story. I think this season is much better on the first watch, but there definitely are a lot of memorable moments in both goofy and serious scenes. Like, there's a random episode where the Mario and Wario Bros play soccer, and the Johnny Mushroom and the Kingdoms episode introduces Scott Masterson, who is one of my favorite oddball antagonists.
Shut the hell up! What's going on? I own you! Hey!
Scott here.
I'll just go back to Channel Text where I deal with Teletubbies and mentally impaired people all day long that don't put sprinkles on my donuts!
And despite having those goofy episodes, my problem with Season 2 on a rewatch is how even though the stakes are risen, the lead up to the Nox Decius fight feels sloppy. Like, Wario and Waluigi break up after losing to Mario, and that totally makes sense because Wario was upset Bowser gave him a partner in the first place, but for whatever reason they split up because Waluigi gets a girlfriend. But I do think both characters benefit from splitting up, especially since we got this amazing performance by Matt.
We could have destroyed the Mario Bros, but you wanted to play soccer. I wanted to ruin their reputation, but you just wanted to steal their instruments. When we should have been planning, you were busy making out with Wild Goomba!
That's Wild Gina to you!
I don't care about you! I don't care about your girlfriend! I don't care about us!
I thought we were supposed to be friends, Wario.
Well, then you thought wrong.
The main reason I think the build-up is so sloppy is because Mario and Co need to find the Nether emblems, 3 items from Decius' past that when combined form the Nether Saber. These items are a shield, or a cupcake ring if you want to get specific, a hilt, and a cross. So everybody splits up to find the emblems. You would think the emblems would be hard to find, but Brock and Donkey Kong find the shield hanging out in the grass. The cross was conveniently buried under the fire Link made when he first arrived, and the hilt, man, I gotta give this episode its own analysis. Okay, so it's episode 27. Somehow the audio got deleted, even though there are bloopers with the audio intact, so Rich voices everybody, and I'm glad it happened to this episode because his impression of Ness is bonkers.
I can't say for sure, but I have a feeling we should go this way. Whoa! I can only speculate. Whoa! So that's the weapon it creates. What does it do? Whoa! Camera, looking at the camera. I'm looking at the camera. It's about time. Ooh. Bowser's hideout. Ooh. And now we only need one more item to make it complete. Whoa! We're back at the campfire. Whoa!
Whoa! That's how it is. Why is he doing that? I love this cut, but I really want the real audio since Link and Johnny Cyclops are both played by Kent, and I want to know if Kent did a voiceover for Johnny or not. Anyways, the hilt is where Bowser hangs out, which doesn't make sense why it would still be there, but whatever. And for the season finale fight with Nox Decius, Mario decides to go alone, and it immediately goes bad since Decius kicks away the Nether emblems before Mario can make the saber, which he should have done before the fight. And once again, it all looks bad for Mario, but luckily somebody's here to save him again.
Wario, you saved my life!
Wrong, Mario. I killed him so I could kill you myself.
Season 3 is where the story really starts to get crazy, and a lot of fans call it the show's peak, but before I can elaborate on why things get crazy, we need to talk about what happens after Wario kills Decius. So what we're shown is that Mario barely escapes because the Nether Saber turned off right before he was going to die, and for a few episodes his behavior is quite delirious. But that's because he repressed what really happened with Wario. Okay, this is kind of complicated. So in the darkness lies the truth refers to a person and an object. The object being the Truth Stone, which grants the Tolder immortality. The darkness is not Nox Decius, but rather a spell crafted to bind the Truth Stone to a soul. When Decius was killed, the darkness and the truth were released, but the darkness used Mario's body as a vessel, which fought Wario with Mario's maximum strength, and led to Wario getting Wario's beam sword, but not the Nether Saber. So after the fight, the darkness left Mario to create its own body, which uses Mario as a model, and it ends up finding Nox Decius' Black Widow Blade, which was thought to be destroyed fighting Mario, but it was actually a decoy. So the darkness has a body now, but it communicates with people telepathically, so it tries to convince people like Wario and Waluigi to hurry up and kill Mario, but it leaves them wondering what the voice's motives are. There's also another voice communicating with these characters named Merlin, who is Nox Decius' brother. They've been around for thousands of years and are allegedly Mario and Luigi's ancestors. Anyways, Merlin says there are 2 chosen heroes that will defeat the darkness and another foe. The first is Mario, the second is a secret. Oh, and then at some point Wario tricks Ash and Snake into reactivating the Nether Saber. Yeah, Snake is a new character this season and he's joined by Otacon. They're kind of fun, but surprise surprise, I've never played a Metal Gear Solid game, so again I can't relate to their characters. Snake is supposed to be super serious, while Otacon is a weeaboo, and the season will remind you of that over and over again. In fact, Snake's codec thing winds up being the most important plot device this season, getting used in a bunch of gags and story progression.
There are 2 middle-class working men that need our help.
Middle-class working men? I don't like the sound of that.
They need our help in detaining and securing a third, but evil, middle-class working man.
An evil middle-class working man? And I thought it couldn't get any worse.
Oh, don't worry, it does!
Oh, great!
Compared to the first 2 seasons, as I've just highlighted, this is the most plot-driven so far, and despite having a more serious tone, this season does a good job finding a homeostasis between story and good humor. And like Season 2 soccer game, this time there's a basketball game.
Go basketball!
And here's a scene I want to show you.
You used up all my PP! Ah, speaking of PP, Misty's hella hot! What? I like to use my water Pokemon on her, if you know what I mean! You don't have any water Pokemon, That's right! User. That's right, because I only use rock, because I'm strong and hard! Hey Ash, I thought your hair was supposed to be black anyways! Brock, you're so silly! It's black! Look! Oh, my bad.
And another sequence of scenes I liked is when Mario and Luigi get their hats stolen by a crazy obsessed stalker fan of Super Mario Bros. And when they catch the girl, she reveals she already sold them online.
What was the name of the seller on eBay?
It was... I gotta catch 'em all.
That bastard!
I'm Mario, I'm Luigi, I'm Mario, I'm Luigi, I'm Mario, I'm Luigi, I'm Mario, I'm Luigi, I'm Mario and Luigi! I'm
The season doesn't officially have a Johnny Mushroom in the Kingdoms episode. One was filmed, but it was cut out because it didn't fit the tone of the season, which I'm fine with because it was boring. And there was actually another cut episode where Wario tries to recruit allies but fails, and this time I agree that the scene didn't fit the tone, since Wario is much more cunning and ruthless this season, and he's nothing like that in these scenes. And what about Link? Well, Link goes on his own journey into the woods because he drank spoiled milk and had a dream where he found a coconut in the woods, which then appears next to him when he wakes up. He ends up learning about an artifact in the woods from a man hired by the darkness, and this subplot is really boring after Link wakes up.
And your beard is fake! What? This is impossible! You didn't even grow this yourself! You just held it on with your hand the whole time!
These scenes merely exist to set up the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which is the follow-up to Season 3, and the artifact, a fire flower. But before I can talk about the movie, I need to explain how Season 3 ends. Mario, Luigi, and Waluigi all team up to fight Wario, and this fight uses fake blood to emphasize how strong Wario is. It really left an impression on me, because of all the fights that happen in the show, this is the one I remember most. And the way it ends is with Wario pinned down, while Waluigi tells him he is the second chosen one, which completely shifts Wario's view on the world and turns him to the side of good. So now it's time for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. The movie is split into 2 acts. The first focuses on comedy, while the second wraps up the storylines from Season 3. I remember not thinking the movie was super remarkable, but I really enjoyed it during my rewatch for this video. Act 1 includes 2 Johnny Mushroom in the Kingdom songs, a lengthy dance montage, a football game, a bike race, the return of the printer shop owner, and so much more. And you've probably spotted some new characters including Daisy, Yoshi, Professor Oak, and Gary Oak, who is probably my favorite character in the show. I said Ash was everyone's punching bag, but Gary is like Ash but a total sociopath, which makes him so much more hilarious.
What are you losers talking about?
Wow. Oh, hey Gary, you want to just leave since we both hate you?
Nah, I think I'll just hang around you dorks to make myself look cooler.
Is that how you justify having no friends?
What are you talking about, Ash? I have plenty of friends.
Like who?
Like,
Like your grandpa! Good one, Brock! Yeah! Insulting.
And I didn't even mention Bowser makes an appearance, along with Kamek, who turns him into a human, but he can't speak English, so he needs to get hooked on phonics. He has a short fight with Mario, but they get interrupted and never settle the score. There's also a bunch of references to Rich's other series on YouTube, including The Monster Mower, Harry Potter, YouTube News, and from Dane's abandoned channel called Random Productions, Smashing Stuff. My favorite part of Act 1 is definitely Part 2, which features the printer shop owner and this wonderful scene where Mario gets arrested trying to teach Peach how to drive.
What are you reporting out there?
Sir, you want to know, right? Alright, get out.
Woo! Woo! This is a good...
Hey, you stay still.
I have my rights.
Get up.
I have my rights.
Let him push him up against the car. Push him up. Yeah,
You can't do this to me. Oh!
Stay still. You don't say anything. Yeah, you like that, huh? Yeah, you like that.
This is so stupid!
And as for Act 2, Mario and Wario have their fights with the darkness and one other foe, which winds up being Noxdasius, who somehow takes over Luigi's body, becoming Mr. L. But before either of those fights happen, the darkness kills Link, who sealed the artifact to his soul, then kills Mario right after. What? Link gives Mario the artifact to resurrect himself, then fights Mr. L. And if we have to be technical here, Mario doesn't kill Noxdasius, Luigi does, and Nox wasn't even alive, this is bullshit. And then Wario goes and kills the darkness. Twice. Waluigi was supposed to give him the counter curse that would make the darkness mortal, but forgot. Then he gives the Truth Stone to Merlin, which is used to revive Link and turn the coconut into a human. You know what, I'm not going to explain this one. And then Snake kills Liquid Snake at some point so he can be relevant, and then Ness undergoes puberty, then does nothing. And to make up for these characters being useless, they go on Operation Blindstorm, which is a setup for Season 4. The movie was meant to be the end of Super Mario Bros., but I guess the community pressured Rich into making more videos. I never used the fan forum, so I can't comment on if this is what really happened, but back to Operation Blindstorm. Snake and Ness found a mysterious beacon that was created by the darkness before he died, and after being joined by Mario, Luigi, and Wario, Snake shoots the beacon, which makes all their powers go away. There's also a side story called Super Mario Bros. The Interactive Adventure that takes place between Operation Blindstorm and Season 4, and the quality of the show improves incredibly. Rich had a few series where you could pick a path using the video's end cards, and I'm not going to go into detail on every path, but the plot to the interactive adventure is that Mario and Luigi need to get money before they're evicted, so Wario and Snake help them out, and it's up to you, the viewer, to make sure they get the job done. It's definitely worth checking out.
Looks like a guy by the name of Pizza. Well, I'm a Black Ops trained fighter. I could be an assassin for the day and get paid. Or I could adopt a kitten. They are so cute. Oh, so cute.
And then Season 4 is apparently a divisive season among fans. A lot of people say this is when the show went downhill, and I can kinda see their point because there's a buttload of bad potty jokes and some of the continuity gets screwed up, but I gotta be real with you guys. This is, in my opinion, the best season of Super Mario Bros. So since all the antagonists have been taken care of, a lot of the dumb fun Super Mario Bros. Is known for has ample time to shine, and the first half of the season is full of bangers. In the first episode, Mario runs into Pauline and he tries to impress her by giving her chocolates that he stole from Snake. But there's one teeny tiny problem, and it's that the chocolates have a fox dye thing that Snake has to eat or he'll rapidly age and die, and they're super expensive, and if anybody else eats them, they'll die. So Pauline dies, and Mario needs to repay Snake for the chocolates, and what better way to get money than to die? And what better way to get money than to join the Mafia, which is where Max Payne is introduced. I've never played Max Payne, but he's hilarious.
Do you need our help?
A stupid question. Max Payne never needs help. I should have told him to get lost, but instead I told him to wait. Wait here.
There's also an episode where Wario and Luigi play in an illegal poker tournament, one where Johnny Mushroom and the Kingdom's mock reality TV, Brock and Gary visit Professor Oak to see who sucks more. There's even an episode where Mario gets amnesia and falls in love with the woman who finds him lying in the street, which is no prop to him. And I have to mention the single greatest quote in the show.
Framona. I can't. Framona.
Oh God. No, it's funny again.
Framona. 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 Framona.
Jesus Christ.
Framona. Framona.
You know what? I want that to be my tramp stamp, actually. And what about everyone losing their powers? Well, it was actually only the group at the beacon who lost their powers, and Waluigi still has his, so he transfers his energy to everyone but gets put in a coma as a result. And who's the antagonist this season? It's a new and original character, Blair Verstorm, who recruits two people to form a group called the Trifecta. Liquid, Ken. And with her arrival is an endless army of ninjas who goof off in the background of a bunch of scenes, and these guys are just great.
Blair, you promised me I'd have my revenge. I want Snake dead. I told you, we must wait for the time to be right. And what's stopping me from just killing him now? If you leave us and strike out on your own, I will destroy you. This is preposterous. What are we waiting for? If you attack Snake now, while his allies are around, you will be ambushed. Huh. I can take them.
And then a new character joins our heroes. Ryu. Or Ryu, I guess.
Ryu here.
Wait a minute, are we saying Ryu now?
Of course. Just like we always have.
He helps everybody train for their fights with the Trifecta and the ninjas. Snake ends up fighting Liquid, Ryu fights Ken, and Mario fights Blair. And this is where the controversy happens. So remember how the Darkness and Nox Decius are dead? They're alive. But I think they were written back in just fine. The Darkness stored most of his energy in his hat during the movie and transferred it into Ness during Operation Blindstorm until he could regenerate, which totally makes sense to me. And Nox Decius was resurrected by Ganondorf. Yeah, Ganondorf was going to be the villain of Season 5, and he was hinted at back in Season 2 and wrote a letter to Mario in Episode 51, so his inclusion and ability to resurrect Decius isn't unreasonable. Oh, and by the way, Mario never got Snake his money. Season 5, it's the endgame of Super Mario Bros., where every villain returns or is revived by Ganondorf. It should be this epic finale to the show, but the season feels so unfocused. Like, the main story is that the heroes are initially defeated, and then slowly all the villains split up until Ganondorf has no more forces, but the season is so dry and boring to watch. A lot of the humor didn't hit me this time, like in Season 4, and that's because there aren't a lot of random shenanigans that happen. Most of the runtime for the first 14 episodes are either fights, or people talking about upcoming fights, and there's good moments, like I still repeat the line,
Now where can a Dark Lord take a Dark Dookie?
but I feel like the entire season is full of characters standing around waiting for the finale to happen, and thankfully the finale / episode 75 does a great job at ending the season on a high note. It captures the humor, story, and action all in one. Like, earlier in the season, the Darkness got an army of pirates led by Captain Morgan, who is an abusive alcoholic that's asleep the whole time, but his crew wake him up with Pirate Crunch! And the Pirate Crunch gets used in a lot of funny ways during the Pirate Ninja fight, which is pretty enjoyable to watch.
Yar! Cereal technique! Fist blast!
Wow, you just threw cereal at me.
Yar! But this be me new peanut butter pirate crunch!
Pirate Crunch!
So?
Well, the moment the cereal balls hit your face, the peanut butter got into your pores.
Oh wow, I'm gonna get acne now.
Probably.
How terrifying.
Oh, and one more thing.
What's that?
I laced me cereal with poison.
Luigi and Bowser fight each other, and that's alright, but the Darkness and Nox Decius have the most cinematic fight in the series, which ends in them killing each other at the same time. And then Mario fights Ganondorf with the Master Sword after he merges spirits with the Darkness, Merlin, and Link. And oh my god guys, you have no idea how hype it was seeing Kent return to play Link in the finale.
I stabbed the heart that isn't there.
Poetic, I guess. Unexpected.
And deserved.
I really like the ending too, where there's a character reel of everybody who lived the war and what they're doing afterwards. And the music they use here and during the credits is perfect, and then Rich caps it off with this line.
There's just one last thing I have to do. Okay, see you there. Thank you for giving me the best 5 years of my life.
Dude, I got teary-eyed watching this again. And then Mario came back. Rich continued to make videos with Mario after Super Mario Bros. Since that was pretty much his brand, but slowly he faded into obscurity. I'll admit, I really didn't watch anything else from him after the Super Mario Bros. Finale, but in 2015 a trailer was released for a new show called Super Mario World, and I was so excited to see what Rich would do. And it's awful. It's like the show is emulating those trendy live-action shows on Disney Channel and Nickelodeon where something feels hollow and cringy. I don't know if Rich's writing mindset shifted over the years because Super Mario World has jokes and has plot, but neither of them were pulling me in. And I swear there are so many scenes where a tripod is used, and I'm noticing them, which is really bizarre to me because I barely paid attention to that before this season. So what happens this season that has given me such a negative response? It starts with Mario and Luigi returning to the real world, and Scott Masterson, who now works for the IRS, demands they pay him $25,000. So instead of having wacky and over-the-top adventures to get money like in the Interactive Adventure or Season 4, Mario tries to steal a suitcase from a sleeping Donkey Kong like he's in a Looney Tunes episode. And then it turns out Scott was lying about being in the IRS, but he doesn't get any consequences. And then characters like Wario, Daisy, Snake, Yoshi, Ness, and Pauline return and do nothing interesting. I mean, it's not like Yoshi and Ness do anything anyways, and maybe this lawyer is Waluigi. They actually made some good jokes with him, but somehow Pauline is the funniest character in the cast. And of the newcomers, there's Squall from Final Fantasy VIII, who I can't even get a grasp on because his personality is all over the place. There's some crazy guy in the woods named Frank, Link is reborn as Linkle from Hyrule Warriors, and Rosalina shows up, and the two girls do absolutely nothing. The last new character and season antagonist is an original character, Rathnarr, Ganondorf's son, and he does nothing too. They couldn't even end the season with a fight. Instead, we get really ambiguous lore about wormholes opening up. Scott says he'll come back with reinforcements, and Squall says he has a lot of enemies, and we don't get to see any of that. In fact, I thought the season was so bad that I didn't even bother watching the second season when it aired. So for the rest of this video, everything else I'm watching is brand new to me. It doesn't improve. Mario and Link will have their fight with Rathnarr and win, but Mario spares Rathnarr, and I want you to guess what happens next, okay? Rathanar captures Rosalina and makes her bring him to the past to steal Mario as a baby, and this opens up the multiverse where the Mario we've been watching is from a universe where Rathanar didn't abduct him, but now there's 3 Marios in this universe and 3 Rathanars, and Mario's Rosalina's child from the future, I guess. I don't know. What's going on? Why is the story suddenly so complicated? And I don't even want to talk about the rest of the season because it's just as boring as the first one. Linkle leaves, and then Zelda shows up to say Linkle might be dead. Snake is on the least interesting side quest to save Hideo Kojima or something, and nothing I classify as fun happens in any of these episodes. Like, all of the semi-gag scenes are the same 3 jokes over and over again. Pauline wants to kill Mario, Rich keeps advertising his YouTube channel, and everybody looks at the camera as a punchline. What happened to the show? It's like Rich lost sight of what made Super Mario Bros. A success in the first place. It was just a group of friends making stupid videos about video game characters goofing off and going on a crazy adventure. And now it's a production. There's no soul and there's no subtlety. It's like the reboot wasn't made because there was another story to tell, but instead it was brought back in an attempt to catch lightning in a bottle one more time. And now the end. Super Mario Bros. Legacy, which I'm gonna watch for the first time. Here's my immediate thoughts. He salvaged it. I am stunned. Like, he actually did it. He made Super Mario Bros. Good again, but it's still far from perfect. Legacy took a lot of the loose ends from Super Mario World and either made the best out of them or tried to sweep them under the rug, and that's because the ending makes sense. Daisy getting close with Mario makes sense. Snake's dumb quest for Konami makes sense. The multiverse makes sense. But on the other side of the coin are a bunch of threads that get snuffed. Linkle didn't die, she got lost. Squall, totally irrelevant. Scott's reinforcements, mentioned but nothing. What really made Super Mario Bros. Legacy good are 2 specific moments, and before I explain them, I want to say that the ending to this movie is like watching an episode of The Twilight Zone where you don't see the twist end coming, but it's extremely satisfying during the aha moment. So the first of these moments is that Mario has a dream a few times where something important is being revealed to him, but never enough to make sense of the scene until the end. It's Merlin talking with his father Arcania. He explains that Merlin and Nox will give birth to 2 sons who will look identical to the 2, and that one of those boys will do the same, every generation for eternity. But if the child looks like Arcania, bad stuff will happen. Can you see where this is going? Rathanar is Mario's son from the future. But I thought Rosalina was Mario's child from the future. Yes, and I hate it too, but it was to add more depth to the multiverse storyline, but Rosalina isn't this Mario's daughter. Okay, so when Rathanar went to the past to steal baby Mario, Nox Decius found out Ganon will lose, so this creates a paradox where Nox and Ganon steal Mario and Daisy's child in the future and raise it to kill Mario and end Arcania's bloodline. And during Mario's fight with Rathanar, Merlin freezes time to explain this to Mario, as well as explain that Rosalina is Mario and Peach's alternate universe child. And during this whole period where time is frozen, everything starts to make sense. All the revelations were clicking with me, and I was getting goosebumps, and then the resolution between Mario and Rathanar made me as teary-eyed as the Season 5 finale.
What are you waiting for? Do it. I'm sorry. What? And I will see you again someday. Goodbye, my son.
What's this? Can't feel.
Mario.
It was a good end to a bad start, and I think that ironically enough, it saved the show's legacy. I just hope that if Rich ever decides to bring back Super Mario Bros. In one of the infinite multiverses he created, that he looks back at what made the show so popular in the first place. And there's no definitive answer to what he needs to do, but I trust he can find that missing link. And if there is a revival of Super Mario Bros., I'll be there to watch it. This was Super Mario Bros., a web show worth watching.
Oh, take me back to the start.